right, all right. So we are back. How's everybody doing? Check out the leaderboard here, and we got another great panel for everybody. So how's everybody doing? Doing good. Okay, Raul's here. Perfect. Marcus. All right. Paul's here. Chad's here. Okay, seems like everything is working. There are some people muted, so I think maybe unmute when you talk, or just always stay unmuted, however you prefer. Who did we confirm a moderator, or who's coordinating? Paul.
Paul.
You can moderate. You can moderate, Mike.
I moderate. Uh-oh. I think Paul.
Yeah.
Paul's good. I think Paul's pro.
All right. All right.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I'm
we
up
have a
there
few.
enough, man. I
Yeah.
want to share the stage, so I'll just pop off, and then
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
It's good to see you, Mike. It's good to see you guys, Marcus, Rahul, Chad. Chad, I know we've been in rooms, in our clubhouse rooms, talking about Web3 for quite a while on our lfgtv.com. If you guys want to check it out, we talk about Handshake a lot. Marcus, let's hear a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm a Web3 domain investor, actually a Web3 domain advocate and educator. I run an alpha domain channel for Web3 domains and also a Twitter space called Tech Talk. And then, I'm a domain registrar. I own the TLD.DeFi wallet, which actually has a trademark pending on it. So, yeah, that is me.
Fantastic. Rahul, I know we're in the same WhatsApp groups and Twitter friends as well. It's good finally to put a face to this. Tell us a little bit about yourself, man. How'd you get involved and what's going on?
I'm a domainer since 2008, but right now I'm only in HNS, only in Handshake. So I have all the portfolio only in HNS, like 800 TLDs I have. That's all. Nothing much that's all.
Is there a certain niche that you like to invest in, or is it all over the place, your TLDs?
Actually, I only invest in good words.
English words?
Yes.
Single words or
Single words and like the valuable words that had CPC, good CPC.
Good. We'll talk a little bit about the new update on Namebase. I was very excited about that. We can finally see what 3L floor prices are, 4L floor prices are. We were able to see it before. It's a little complicated, but they've made it a little bit easier, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot better. I think they're going to add collections and so forth. But Chad, good to see you again. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on?
Yeah, hey, man. I'm Chad. Also go by EDAD. We're on a company called Realty DAO, so we're a digital REIT for domains. We fractionalize premium.coms in about 130 handshake names and Realty DAO. Some of those are .chain, which we paid 2 Bitcoin for when Bitcoin's at 12 grand, and then .carbon and some other environmental impact ones that we're looking to bring out pretty soon. So that's kind of it.
Yeah. So you fractionalize these domain names. Is that kind of the right terminology for it?
We tokenize them.
Tokenize them. Got it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. So what would you guys like to start off with? I know one of the things they had on there is name collision, and it's something we can't really avoid. I mean, I think eventually it's already come across. We've seen it. What's happened with what Unstoppable is doing, but I mean in the ICANN root zones, as they release new TLDs, it's inevitable that it's going to happen. So what are your guys' thoughts on what we can do to kind of protect ourselves and protect our TLDs? I know one of the things that the Web3 Alliance had mentioned is first to market and adoption. I know we're not going according to those rules, but I mean, let's just say that we're first to market our TLD out there. Do we have a leg to stand on now that hey, we have it rooted with Namecheap? Is that enough to market, or who's going to decide what the adoption level is? Those were kind of my thoughts when I read that about the alliance. You guys have any thoughts about that?
I mean, I kind of do. I think like early on in the space, I was as concerned about collision as everyone else is. I think that's because the way we experience domains now is with a single DNS system. So obviously, if there were duplicate domains and regular DNS, they would collide. However, with like Web3 domains serving the purpose of digital identity, most of these names exist on separate ecosystems. Actually, a lot of naming systems and ID systems coming out now are going to be closed ecosystems, um, where the same name could exist, but it's never really going to have utility outside of that ecosystem. So there really isn't collision there.
Chad, your thoughts on this? Rahul?
Rahul, go ahead. Rahul.
I I think Handshake needs more marketing. People still don't know about Handshake. Like if you talk about Web 2 or something, people still don't know about Handshake, and it's like very complicated. We need to be like little bit more easier on this. If you go to auctions, you start the things. People don't know how to get the name, how to buy the name, because not everybody has the BTC, Bitcoin. They don't know how to get the HNS. So it's very complicated. Like we need to make it very simple, and we need more marketing. We can create hashtags on Twitter and do more promotion because we have the very good community. We have very big community. We need more promotion. We need end users to come to the handshake, and we need to make it more easier that how to buy the HNS names. People don't know how to do that, and it's very complex. It's more technical level.
Paul, what your question, because you were saying first to market, right?
Yeah.
On the naming of a collision, right? A word, right?
Right.
Whatever it's right at the dot. Was that kind of the general question?
That was the question. How do we protect ourselves, right? What rights do we have? What's the best way? That was kind of the thought process on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the rights are what you can see in the protocol and the governance and stuff like that to know the predictability of an open decentralized protocol. The unpredictability is you already know what already happening in the legal court systems. So until those are decided, is it first of thought and first to act? Because then you can say, well, I thought of that and I acted upon that, means I am putting in that concept in motion into the world, right? So break it. I wouldn't break it down to first to the public market. It's already first to the thought and first to an action, and that is starting an energy in a spin, and that's what right at the dot a TLD can do for you like that. Is it gives you almost unlimited range in front of that. So that's how we have to defend it. Is we have to defend it on the first to think about it, first to act upon it, and if they win the dot wallet, all unstoppable domains are at risk, and anybody else that precedes that are at risk of that structure. That's the best way to put a big defense on it. Is get a couple times in court to say it is.
Yeah, because there's already a
I'm
few
actually-
others. Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
I was going to say, I'm actually just realizing I didn't answer your question, but I'll wait till you speak and then I'll give you the answer to the correct
Yeah, no
answer
problem.
to the question.
But it was good to hear from you, and I want to kind of touch on what you said as well. But .zil is out there right now on both Handshake as well as Unstoppable, right? So they've gone after .wallet. What about the owner of .zil? What about some of the TLDs that I have not yet marketed yet? So is it enough for me just to put them up on Namecheap, spend the $100? That's kind of my question. Is that enough? Does that cover me spending the $100 and getting my names rooted or at Namecheap? Now all of a sudden I'm first to market, or does it actually have to be people registering names on there? Yeah. So, but yeah, Marcus, go ahead, please.
All right. So yeah, what I said earlier does have some relevance in this topic as well. It should also probably be put out there that my company is a member of the Web3 Domain Alliance. So I do know what their ethos is and kind of their thought process behind protection of domains. To answer that question, so again, with separate ecosystems, the issue of collision may never even come up. So you may never even have that problem, just depending on where those names exist. But let's just say that they do come into a position where they collide, like the dot wallet or the dot coin. Um, simply, so it's just my personal opinion. Simply purchasing something on a blockchain or on a protocol and squatting on it without doing any marketing or promotion or building on it, I don't think establishes ownership. I think establishing ownership is intent to market. If you purchase a domain and then you bring it to the market and you put your capital and your effort behind it, and then you do certain things like, okay, so we're creating an ecosystem built on an ideology that decentralization should rule all. But reality is that law uh, establishes order and establishes the rules that we must follow in. And protecting your domain also by filing trademarks, whether or not you get it approved or not, just doing these certain legal steps to establish true ownership and true intent to market the domain. I think that has a better you have a better foot to stand on if you do those things than just saying, 2 years before you put out your name, I bought it and stored it in my wallet.
What about 2 months? What is the time to act? So because if you're acting in real estate, doing nothing, it makes your money value go up and more than anything. So what dictates, and why do you get to dictate when I get to act on my idea to determine if I have fair right ownership that I paid money for to claim on an open blockchain? Is that 1 day, 1 month, 1 second, 1 year, 10 years? Who gets to dictate that time? Because you are establishing ownership when you put any transaction on an open public blockchain. That's the whole narrative of it, is to disclose that. So it's where you get into the true decentralization of the edge, or the legal centralized systems that people are able to leverage and abuse, continue to squeeze out that. So to establish who owns what rights and what ownership, that isn't the nature of Web3, or that's not what I understand it to be. Is that it's all about ownership.
Right, and that's why the first point that I made prior to attempting to answer the question. Um, if these names exist on different ecosystems, this never becomes an issue to begin with, because you each have true ownership of that name within that ecosystem and can do what you want to. It's only, like I said, in the case of traditional DNS, everyone has to operate on the same DNS, so the collisions are kind of obvious. If you're operating on the same system, which none of us are, or if you're competing for the same utility, is when it becomes an issue. So let's say two separate .es are trying to get the MetaMask integration. That's where something like that would come up. But again, if you're existing in separate ecosystems with completely different DNSs or centralized DNSs and resolvers, it should never be an issue. It's an argument I think we're having just for the sake of having an argument, because our names now don't collide.
But it's not like sending an email where you send an email, oops, I sent it. This is an irrevocable. It could be a financial transaction. For example, two names on different chains. You sent it to the wrong chain accidentally. That's kind of the issue there, right? So you want to be able to protect against that. But yeah, I was unaware that you signed the Web3 Alliance. That's a whole different issue, and it's not issue. That's a whole different story in itself. I like to kind of get into that. Like, what prompted you to do that, and did they approach you, and what did you have to sign, and how that whole thing went down? That's very interesting.
Well, yeah. So, and in full disclosure, I'm not a partner of Unstoppable Domains. I do not talk to them. None of them follow me. I agree with the ethos of the Web3 Domain Alliance, not necessarily Unstoppable's business practices, but to answer your question on how I got in contact with them or why, was for this exact same issue. If I was just coming into this space as a consumer buying my own personal identity, I probably wouldn't have cared that much. I would have left um, the responsibility of legally protecting my asset up to who I bought it from. But when you kind of switch the roles and you come in as an entrepreneur again, ideology is great. Ideals are awesome, but where I live, law protects property. And once I decided to create a business as a namer, I have an obligation to protect my property, or else everything I sell to someone else has the potential of being rugged by someone else being able to come up and duplicate my TLD. So for me, yes, I wanted the ability to be able to protect my asset and seek whatever, type of remedies I can if someone is, intending to start another naming service and duplicate my domains in order to steal, money or customers and things like that from me. And the alliance, the general concept of the alliance is for other people with like-minded thoughts to band together and combine resources to do so. Now, we're not in the alliance to protect Unstoppable's assets. I don't know if you've seen all the members, but we're all pretty much very independent and different from them. But again, ICANN right now solves the problems of collisions in the traditional Web 2 space. And despite how people may feel about centralization, centralization is what makes that system work. And if we're talking about collisions in this space, decentralization, as you know, can cause things to go 100 different directions. There's without one focused direction, without some sort of not necessarily one central entity, but like the concept of DAOs. If there's some sort of central board of governance that can help navigate these collisions or help resolve these types of issues, I think it's a betterment for the space in general.
Yeah. What are
based
your
on a
thoughts?
patent, based on a patent that they're going to enforce to only non-members to
Yeah, I know
stymie
about that.
innovation and decentralization, to threaten on a patent. Come on, guys. Like, that's a
So I found
reputational
that out.
risk. It's a reputational risk. Like, it's part of the reputation, but everybody has a choice. Everybody's going to think, but to threaten people with a patent, then let's go and file all these patents and then start 1,000 micro companies attacking you at the edges. That's what's going to happen. That's what naturally, you always have to predict what's happening or going to happen with these things. And so, look, it is what it is. So I'm going to stop on the topic because I know it's being recorded. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you touched on DAOs. Like if you look at what ENS has done, they've created their DAO by obviously HNS has already released all their tokens. But do you think there is an opportunity here for like the HNS community to create a DAO and maybe make decisions based on that? Chad, Rahul?
Yeah, I'd love to. I've been talking, try. That's when I'm advocating in the space. Handshake is a protocol that has no DAO, right? A lot of times you start a DAO and then you launch the protocol, or very vice versa, the opposite way. So, the story of it is can you wrap a DAO around Handshake? Yeah, you theoretically can, but you need people acting upon that and putting the tools. But again, I support the other naming protocols and stuff because again, like Marcus says, I love domains too, right? I love all domains to a certain point. But there's other philosophies and things I just don't approve of also as well. That's the beauty of the system, right? Is the open, transparent system. So yeah, so the DAO I think could put together. We do have to find a way to bring some of this resources back through the system from the ecosystem, like they first intended with the airdrop. And so if we don't get developers or whatever else as a decentralized protocol, yeah, people like Unstoppable that are executing as a centralized organization have the leg up and everything else. So, but we have to really embrace everybody here and then participate, and somebody's got to run with the buck and move it forward. I'll follow you, Paul, if you want to do that.
Yeah. No, what are the things, Marcus?
10
okay,
minutes.
Are we out of time?
We got 10 minutes, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you see the Q&A section, or I can help.
Oh no, I haven't.
I don't know if it's,
Maybe you can read through them. Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
but Marcus, just real quick, you touched on Web3 IDs. One of the things we haven't is token gating. I think we haven't gotten to that point yet, but there's opportunity here for us to turn our Web3 IDs, even handshakes, into the object for token, especially in the metaverse. I'm kind of deeply involved in the metaverse projects, and that's already available over there. You're able to token gate based on the Ethereum contracts. And if somehow, like what Impervious is doing, what they've enabled us to do with our handshake names, there's some sort of opportunity here for us to use that. But yeah, here's the questions for you guys.
I mean, there's like 5 or 6, and they're all really good. And I don't want to. I'm gonna just pop this up, and I'll just hide it because I want to focus on the panelists.
And
it's for Chad. Did you see that question for you? Question for Chad from Colin. Is there any future in which domain names benefit from REIT-like tax benefits? I think Colin's pretty technical. I don't know if you want to answer that, or it's probably a long answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, That's why we're realty DAOs. So we name it as a digital REIT for domains, is what we said. So yeah, that's kind of our real estate approach for the digital real estate. And so with Handshake, again, when we're out there in the crypto conferences and stuff, is we're DAOs on domains. And then and so some of the other Web2 companies don't really want us calling them domains, right? They're technically whatever they want to call them, right? So the ID, they're like, okay, we'll call them identification systems, or we'll evolve. Anyway, that's kind of battle. But yes, you can get tax benefits like a REIT
Okay.
if you classify it as.
Okay. I'll show it really quickly and then I'll hide it. Basically, Sar, he says, what about other TLD registrar like Decentraland and Free Name? Nobody want to answer on that name collision is the question.
I mean, I can answer that.
Okay, Marcus,
for
go ahead.
Decentralized name. Yeah.
I don't know if it's Decentral Web or Land.
Also, yeah, I think they mean Decentral Web. Also, full disclosure, I'm a paid advisor for Free Name. And again, this is all in the spirit of helping move the Web3 domain space forward. I'm actually advising them to work hand in hand with you guys and with other naming protocols for interoperability to help avoid collision. What was the question specific to either one of them? Though?
He says, I mean, I think he's just piling on more naming collision protocols. Like he's just bringing up even more. Like we're talking about UD or ENS or ICANN. He's bringing up Decentralized Web. He's bringing up Free Name. So I think the bigger question is there's so many more of these naming solutions coming up all over the place. I mean, I think we all saw this coming, but it's kind of here and it's kind of growing. So I think he's just saying like it's popping up everywhere. Like he's seeing. I think that's his point.
Most of the serious domain investors on either Free Name or DecentraWeb, I mean, I know, and most of them I encourage, if they're going to bring their names to market, I encourage them to secure their name on every platform that they can. The first suggestion that I give them to secure their name on is Handshake, obviously. There is no name that I put to market that I don't own in Handshake already, and I do not advise anybody else to do the same. So yeah, most of them, even internally, their buying practices is to help reduce collision.
Okay, I think that's we got just this one's from Namer Tips, Chris Neal, who's also very active. Do you agree or believe the only protection exists in space is strong branding and core utility? I guess there's.
I don't know if you just want me to hog the space with that question.
I know. I guess this is kind of coming at you, but I mean, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's just saying maybe we can do a quicker answer from each person. Like, he's saying like I guess he's saying is it about branding and utility? Maybe a kind of a shorter yes no from as many as we can get. I don't know, Paul. What do you think? You can help moderate me for me.
Well, all I'm saying is based on what we've seen, with Dot Wallet, absolutely. That's the only thing that that we have to kind of see what's going on. So, based on what we've seen there, yes, you have to protect it, you have to brand it. That's what we have to do at this moment. Yep.
Okay, we have 5 more minutes, and more questions are popping in. Maybe Marcus, I think it's insightful that you will have this. So I think this would be best for you. IP infringement. What additional benefits does Web3 Alliance provide versus normal legal system? I don't know if you or anyone, of course, but could help with that.
I mean, there's power in numbers, I guess. Power in numbers and power in having good allies. I mean, that would be the additional protection aside from trying to fight it yourself.
Okay.
That 62 million in funding sure helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, money is always a resource, right? Yeah, I mean, seems like it is true. A lot of questions for Marcus. Alex also just asked your long-term vision for HNS.
Yeah, my long-term vision for HNS. So I agree in the ethos of HNS. I believe that you guys have a perfect use case as a decentralized root zone for all of Web3 domains. And my vision for 5 to 10 years from now is for you guys to be fully established and respected as that. I'm hoping the other naming protocols do see that there is a need for a decentralized root zone. Find a way to, get the assets to the people that need them. Pair everything up, and then kind of. It would have been better if the Web3 Alliance personally would have started at the HNS root and would have started from here, because this is where the base of the asset should be based, to me. So that's my vision.
I think I don't have too much of an opinion. Of course, I have my opinion, but I think it started to attack Handshake. Personally, it was for a legal battle that with that wallet is why I think it was created. Personally,
well, yeah, and I'm understand when I'm speaking about the Web3 Alliance, I'm not speaking about Unstoppable. Again, I'm not a partner of Unstoppable. I have nothing to do with what they do. I was at NamesCon just like you.
I understand. It's not directed to you, but I think they were the ones that started Web3 Alliance, unless I'm mistaken.
Well, yeah, they did.
Okay.
Bad people can sometimes start good things.
Okay. Raul hasn't, said much. Even Paul. I mean, I would like to hear more. We got 2 minutes left. I got the miner next, Bitmain. Raul, what are your feelings? To wrap up about the panel and about about your projects and your vision.
Because we are here for the Handshake Conference. So I would like to say we need more marketing. Why we are talking about unstoppable domain or free name or whatever they are, because they are doing very good marketing. So that's why they come up in our mind. If we do more marketing, we do more utility, because our domains are not resolving. We need more utility. We need more marketing. Without that, it's not possible to reach some goals.
Okay. Paul, how do you feel about everything? For wrapping up.
Yeah, I live 10 minutes away from the beach and I hardly ever go there. And sometimes we just take things for granted. The fact that Namecheap is on board, the second largest registrar is on board and accepting handshake names, that in itself to me is, provides value. GoDaddy is the largest one, but yet if you go try to register certain TLDs, they don't accept it. You can't get a .click. You can't get a .link. You can't get a .property there. You have to go to a different registrar. But the fact that this opportunity exists for us, I feel that we sometimes just take it for granted that we can be as large as any registrar that as any registry operator that is out there. So yeah, very excited about the future, and I think we haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg yet.
Okay. We are at time. I think maybe how people can find you. I think there's even more questions, a lot for Marcus about your trademark process. It's true, it is fascinating. But obviously, I don't think we can get into that right now with time. But how can people reach out to each of you? Maybe share your contact info, whatever ways you'd like. If you'd like people reach out to any of you, would you like to share that before we wrap up?
Sure. My Twitter handle is sing.in, and that's probably the best way to get at me.
Yeah, I'm known as Win Airdrop.
Go ahead, Marcus.
Space. I heart domains all everywhere. Yeah, I was going to say I'm known as Win Airdrop in the Web3 space. I'm I heart domains anywhere. So if you Google it, search it, type it in Twitter, Telegram, Discord, you'll find me.
Okay, great. Chad, next.
Hey, Michael. I didn't get a chance to say my things on the future. Handshake.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's right. Right. Handshake.
Please share.
Handshake needs to be at the right place at the right time in the future. Because it's one of a few options that we have. And so whatever these other systems that are building and these blockchain protocols and naming systems, Handshake is Handshake. If it's in the right place at the right time, that's when everybody will see a lot of value. So that's it. So I'm just chat at ecorp.com.
Okay. Seems like that was perfect timing. He finished. Raul?
Yeah, people can find me on Instagram, also on Twitter with the same name, Rahul Sutaria.
Okay, great. Okay, fascinating conversation. Thanks for everybody keeping it professional. And Yeah, we all just got to keep open minds. I think, we all have emotions. We all invested our time or our money into various domains or NFTs or crypto coins, and we get emotional, right? Myself included. So I appreciate everybody coming up here and sharing their perspective, and let's just all help each other grow. I think the big one is don't invest more than you can lose, right? It's still very early stage. It's
Yeah.
developing fast. Don't put all your money in any, I saw somebody on Twitter just say they had to sell something to buy food. So don't do that.
It's experimental, yes.
It's experimental. So invest what you're comfortable to maybe lose, right? And but of course, also I think the other one is I agree with people here. Build on it, right? Don't just sit on it. Use it, contribute. We're trying to do these rings here, organize meetups, try to develop on it, try to get it to the right person's hands, right? Maybe talk to Marcus, try to get it to the right person on other protocols. Let's just try to help each other. Okay, but we got to go to the next one. They're waiting, and I think there's some giveaways for miners at Bitmain. So I think people are excited about the next session.
Nice.
Thank you all. Really, it was